Hi, I'm Dr. Noah Ju, and today I'm here to prove to you all why babies are born good. We'll be experimenting with this child.
You are good. Cute. So cute. What the heck?
The song Violent Crimes is about Kanye West wanting to protect his daughter from the dangers of the world. He fears that if his daughter doesn't have any help, she'll become a bad person like the people he describes in the song. According to him, the environment around her will affect the way she acts in the future. The song makes a great connection to our question since it is about the nature around someone determining how they act. I interviewed my cousin who was in trouble with the law, including breaking into a home. He lives in a town in central Pennsylvania called Altoona, and it's known to have lots of crime in some parts, and people in those areas don't care too much about their future. Some of the questions I asked my cousin were to determine if his parents were the reason he acted like this. The answer to this question is that his parents didn't do too much to make him a good person, but it didn't stop him when he made like a bad decision. When I asked him if the area around him had an impact on how he acted, he said it very much did, since everyone around him didn't care too much and did illegal things to get by. He also said living in that area didn't benefit him at all because no one was there to help. And when I asked if living in a different area would have made him a better person, he told me that he wouldn't have done any wrongdoings if he had friends with good morals and other support around him. He even said that he'd be a better person if the people around him were neither good or bad, meaning that all it took for him to be bad were the influences around him.
As most of our group is religious or has religious families and backgrounds, we decided to look into this perspective. We found the answer to this question to be the point is obvious. In the Christian faith, it is claimed that we are born bad as in sinners. The premise of this conclusion is the Bible. Sources dig deep into the Bible as its only answer to the question, even giving the perspective that babies who have done nothing wrong and are just being little babies theoretically are sinners and are in need of grace. To look deeper into this perspective, we decided to speak to a pastor of a church in Raleigh, the Nazarene Slavic Community Church. We asked questions starting with the topic question and expanding to different questions depending on the response we received. The initial response to our topic question was almost exactly the same as the research. We are born of a sinful nature. The conclusion comes, of course, only from the Bible. What we found interesting was the addition of a counter-argument, of course, supported by the Bible. He mentioned that according to the Bible, we are made in the image of God and we all have that beauty and good inside of us. We expanded the conversation by talking about the effects of different factors on the growth of a child and their future actions. The answers we received were pretty logical, stating that parents, friends, school, and many other factors definitely play a big role in who a person becomes. We also touched base on fate. The belief of the pastor is that fate is not real and that we are given free will to make our own choices. Basically, it is ultimately up to the person and not something that is predestined. Both our research and the interview showed a Christian perspective on our question. As Christianity is currently the most popular religion with approximately 2.4 billion followers, this view is supported by many people in the world. Popularity isn't always the answer to the question, but it definitely offers an argument that could be supported. Certain sources argue that babies are born with some sort of moral compass, but that moral compass is either refined or battered depending on adult influences or community environment. Some babies are born with natural instincts of survival, often condoning behavior encapsulated in selfishness. Selfishness can be exemplified by supporting oneself with food or success at the expense of others, which is generally considered immoral.
The essence of Project Cain was to see if the genetics of a person makes them evil. The novel was written based on serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, known as the Milwaukee Monster. This book was a great source for us in this project because it did a great job of illustrating the effects of nature versus nurture. Another resource that we used was a book called Just Babies: The Origin of Good and Evil, written in 2014 by Paul Bloom. His main point in the book was that babies are born both good and bad. They hold traits that seek out equality and empathy, but also a selfish nature where they are self-serving in order to survive.
Babies, however, still maintain instincts of empathy and equity. Every human is complex, with moments of kindness and deficiency intact. Babies are no different, and as they grow into adults, they will maintain characteristics of both. I guess now the objective is to be kind the majority of the time, and significantly reduce moments when we are less kind.